Okay. All right, everyone. Welcome to BarnBridge Project Call 18. As some of you might be able to notice, we actually have a new face around here. So I'm going to let him introduce himself. Christian, if you would like to just introduce yourself, please.
Sure. Thanks, Troy. Hey, everyone. Christian Crowley here, joining the operations team to help drive operations and business development. My background is in blockchain. I actually spent 2.5 years at Consensus working with some of the guys on this call, helping to lead the Alethio project. I'm joining from AWS, where I've spent the past year building blockchain partnerships with early stage startups. So looking forward to joining the team, looking forward to helping grow BarnBridge.
Awesome. Great to have you here. So with that, without further ado, we're going to turn it over to the tech team, let them give an update on everything that's going on. There's not major updates, but I think timelines and just understanding of what's coming will be beneficial to the community.
Yep, nothing super flashy to discuss in terms of the tech updates, but like Trey said, everything that was going on in these past couple of weeks is super exciting. So let's do the usual breakdown we did before. So Smart Yield, you all know we're in the final stages of the Polygon deployment. We just have to test more, moving the assets back and forth between the testnets before going to production. And the Polygon team has been super helpful with that. They've been with us on all steps along the way. We've been in touch with them daily, and we're probably going to have a very cool announcement to co-market with them soon, but I don't want to say more about that. Just that Smart Yield on Polygon is going to come very soon. The second thing we've been doing is we've been working very closely with the two like pretty well-known protocols. One of them is Idle, and then I'm going to say nothing about that in the second one, about some like Smart Yield integrations and partnerships. Those weren't previously announced, but both of them are in like also at their final steps. We also have a Gnosis Safe integration. So whoever uses Gnosis Safe is going to be able to use the entire app. So yield farming, governance, Smart Yield, everything is going to be available as a Gnosis Safe app. What else? We've actually almost finalized the spec and kicked off work on the smart contracts for the parts that are finalized for that, for like a super exciting new product. It's going to be complementary to Smart Yield, but it's not only that. It's like a more useful solution. It's going to serve like the broader community and relieve some of the pressure and some of the pain points that we've encountered that keep seniors from entering Smart Yield. So it's a solution dedicated to helping bring seniors on the product. Next up, Smart Exposure, the app for that. It's almost finished. Front-end work is like 90% done. All that's left is just a matter of a final round of testing, deploying to mainnet, and then releasing everything in the wild. It's also going to come as a Polygon app, like probably soon after the mainnet release. It's going to also go out on Polygon. That's it for Smart Exposure. What else? Let me scroll down. Smart Alpha. We have, we haven't given a lot of updates lately about Smart Alpha, but I can say that we've actually kicked off work on the smart contracts. Starting next week, we're working on the UI. Which means Dennis and I are going to have some fun doing that. It's probably going to be very familiar. It's going to look similar to Smart Yield. But yeah, we're really happy with how it's coming along. About other stuff, I don't know, we have a ton of cool product ideas. Some of them are really starting to take shape and they're slowly getting moved up the backlog. So probably right after we finish Smart Alpha, we're actually going to start working on the next product. So a lot in the pipeline. Short and sweet. Yeah. That was it on my end.
We've been deliberating a lot on the next product, and I think AppBar is they're helping us with the next product. Isn't the one that we talked about in the community that's like a massive and what I would say enhancement to Smart Yield. that's not what Bogdan's talking about. He's talking about basically like what comes after Smart Alpha. Some of that's going to be affected by like the market, not like the price market. I just mean like the ecosystem and what all is coming onto the market. Basically, we have some really good ideas. Smart Alpha is going to take some time, so we'll monitor basically what else comes into the market during that time frame. And then AppPar also, like after they kind of help us with smart exposure and this enhancement of smart yield, they'll also be working on a product that will probably like spin out through BarnBridge. I just need to talk to like the synthetics community, how they did some of that with Quintep. That's all TBD and not like confirmed that we're going to do it that way. I just want to let like the ecosystem know about what we're thinking that comes next. But yeah, I'm actually pretty excited. I think I said on Twitter a while ago, we're firing on all cylinders on the dev side. So once again, shout out to the D-Mob.
Okay, that was a lot to compute, but yeah, there's definitely a lot of stuff coming down the pipeline, and there's future plans. So that's your TDL or TLDR. I think we can go into operations, and I'm actually going to turn it over to Vitaly to give an update on what's going on with you guys.
Hello, guys. So recently we were working on some design changes. First of all, I think the website dark theme is ready like 95%. Dev started working on this, and it looks really, really nice. Also, Discord FAQ bot is getting updated today, along with questions from community, such as Paulus Loop, finally. This week we were working on a marketing strategy, on new marketing strategy and planning, and there are a lot of work coming and a lot of updates. And basically we are going to push out more and more content, materials, education materials, and newsletter, something like newsletter will be updated completely, and etc. etc. What else? DeFi score, DeFi safety. We have submitted the dev documentation update, and I think that DeFi safety team is reviewing our safety score, and it will be higher soon. And yeah, I think that's it from operation side. If maybe Mark or Max wanna add something.
Well, Max actually has something that he's gonna go over, some of the other stuff that's kind of outside of what's going on inside of that stuff. But definitely like looking forward to the Discord bot FAQ update. The website looks awesome, by the way. I love it.
Yeah, shout out to Dennis who's on this call.
Yes.
He did a good like work. I mean, I think it kind of went unnoticed by the community that like not only that website is the result of like an ongoing brand uplift, because like the designer who did like the original branding for BarnBridge wasn't Dennis, and so we kind of stuck with that as close as we could until like from a UI perspective, it wasn't sufficient because it wasn't baked out enough. So Dennis kind of essentially created a new like brand kit, did a bunch of work for it, and then he came back around and then redid the website. So like he essentially, while he was doing all the work on all of the designs on everything else that we've cranked out, also essentially like redefined the brand in the process. And for a one-person designer, as someone that's done a lot of design and UI work, that's pretty fucking incredible. So shout out to Dennis.
Yeah, by the way, we are updating like BarnBridge branding at all. You should expect that our social media banners will be reflect the website style soon. Yeah, that's also really cool.
Very cool. So with that, I actually want to hand it over to Max, who's got a lot of interesting updates. Because the community probably knows there's actually been a lot of development about like integration and stuff like that. So Max, please.
Sure. Yeah, so I have a few external facing updates. I think the primary one at the moment is the current Aave v2 market signaling that's going on. And so earlier this week, the team at Parify put up a proposal to get bond listed as acceptable collateral on Aave. And the way that kind of process works is what they submitted is referred to as an ARC, and it's kind of equivalent to the soft voting that we do internally with Snapshot in our community. And so if you haven't voted yet, definitely take the time to make an Aave forum account and submit your vote there, such that we can kind of progress to the next steps of that process, which are pretty long. And so it's important that everyone shows up. Taking a quick kind of look at what we're kind of thinking about from a governance perspective within, kind of the BarnBridge community. I think the most pressing item that came up this week is a follow-on deposit to the Bancor bond BNT pool. Essentially, the 50,000 bond we put into that pool over this past week represents about a third of the co-investment opportunity that kind of got voted in by the Bancor community. And so topping that off would essentially provide us with far more bond liquidity in kind of the DEX market space, but it'll also open up the conversation for liquidity mining rewards to be provisioned for that bond BNT pool. And in conversations that the core team has had with numerous kind of like BNT whales, it was definitely well received that, should we totally match this co-investment and kind of commit to accumulating any BNT rewards that pair might be eligible to receive, as opposed to auto dumping. It got a very warm reception kind of from that group of stakeholders. So I think, we'll probably have a snapshot vote on this come Friday or Saturday. That'll go for 5 days. But I would be strongly in favor of us adding bond into that pool, just to kind of deepen that relationship and then make it really easy for liquidity mining rewards to be rolled out. I think it was pointed out that for a pool the size of that bond PNT pool, those liquidity mining rewards would be on the order of some 40 to 60% annualized yield, right? And so I think, kind of coming to view the DAO as both a coordination mechanism for what we're doing with BarnBridge, right, going forward, but also as a holding company of sorts, right, for all the different DeFi protocols we interact with and their governance tokens. I think it just becomes kind of a no-brainer to kind of deepen that relationship as much as possible. Moving forward, we have quite a few projects that kind of reached out this week. The team at Rari Capital asked us whether we'd be interested in a fuse pool for either bond or BarnBridge related products. For those who aren't familiar, fuse pools are essentially forks of the original compound code. And so you are able to essentially create the parameters for that isolated margin pool or debt pool. I've thrown this into the ideas section of the forum, and I think we already got a good response from Mike987, who pointed out that, while maybe a bond fuse pool doesn't make the most sense, given that we already have a cream pool for bond, It could be interesting to see whether or not we could do a fuse pool for either the senior or junior smart yield tranches. So I'm definitely gonna give that some more thought and share my thoughts on that in that thread. And I think once we have some more community discussion, we can definitely go back to the Rari team and, you know, kind of posit an idea that we would then run by their governance process to get a fuse pool set up. The last external project update I have is that we're getting close with Nexus Mutual on the insurance front. And the community should expect kind of a proposal to go forward for kind of bootstrapping what gets launched on that front, so whether that be through shield mining, where bond rewards would actually be set aside for folks to take out insurance policies on kind of like the BarnBridge protocol, or just maybe the DAO itself like taking out an insurance policy for any smart yield contributions it might make in the future, right? And I think the one nuance to point out there is that Nexus Mutual does have a base limit, or I guess a base rate of 2.6% in terms of valuing premia. So that what that means is that if you want deposit insurance on a senior tranche, that's pretty onerous, right? And so I think that's where shield mining could actually be an indirect subsidy mechanism for seniors. So that'll all come in the next week or so, and obviously we'll have forum discussion and snapshot votes and all of that. So nothing will be fly by night. And so that kind of covers it in terms of relevant external updates for this call. The only other thing I wanted to point out is that QuantStamp did a good article on kind of the tranching space in DeFi, and that went live on Wednesday. So we can share that in the notes, the link to that.
I have two updates. One is that for when Max originally put that proposal in, before he was even on like the core team about the onsen stuff, like OX Machi's been pretty slammed, but I do think that eventually they're going to set up they're going to set up onsen for our junior side. Also, in regards to insurance, I don't know when Bridge Mutual goes live, but I'm pretty sure that they'll be providing coverage for BarnBridge as well. But the bigger update is I talked to the Risk Harbor team, and I think they're launching their product next week. Full disclosure on that one, I invested in that, but I invested in literally every single insurance product in the industry in case y'all think I'm just shilling my bags. But they actually wrote special parameters in where they can insure like NFT specific, and like went through our architecture and how it works for like proper pricing and how the insurance will work on the senior side. I think that those kids are really smart and innovative. So it's not only Nexus that's coming, but obviously Nexus is the big dog. I mean, they're the biggest one in the space. They're who institutions are going to pay attention to and utilize early on. So these other ones, you know, they need to kind of come out and prove themselves before everybody apes in. But from an innovative and like tech perspective, that shit actually got me really excited. And those are the only few that I have off the top of my head as updates, but I'm sure there's others that we're not talking about that we're leaving off the list.
I mean, there's definitely a lot going on, right? So we try to keep track of it all and get through it on these project calls, but I mean,
I have another one. Sorry, this one's probably the most important. Is that okay? So all that stuff that happened with Aave, like with them, it's on their forum to do BarnBridge's collateral. in conjunction with that, I've been talking to like Stani pretty much almost daily since he put out that tweet that was like NFTs are coming to Aave. And we need to talk with their team because Stani talks to me at like more of a high level, like nerding out on tech and just getting excited versus, you know, like his CTO that would actually be pushing all of this forward from a tech perspective. But they do, I basically told Stani that I think that if you're bringing NFTs to Aave, one of the best like first use cases would be like a BarnBridge senior tranche, for instance, or like, I don't know if they're working with like charged particles, but some way that you can value the NFT with like ERC20 cash flows makes it same reason that Risk Harbor was playing around with our NFTs, like, because you can run cash flow models on them, right? So Stani agreed with that, and they're looking into like our architecture on that side deeper, and they're gonna have questions. I don't think that we're gonna launch them with V1 because I do think they're just trying to start like lend with your pump, like more simple things. But when they saw it and they saw the like efficacy of it or like kind of why it was beneficial, he got pretty excited and like has been bumping his tech team about it. So those are just like little things that we're just gonna have to chip forward until they become big opportunities later. And me and Troy have been talking to Stani about that actually since like February, but it's cool to see that it's actually coming alive.
Yeah, it is. It should be. It's gonna be cool to see actually what they come up with. Anyways, just from a tech perspective. With that, we actually have some questions from the community for the roundtable, and this is probably more directed at Bogdan. It's from Mike 9870. Love you, Mike. How will the Matic tokens be claimed in the Aave Polygon market, embedded in the spot yield, or claimed separately? Do we have that figured out? Is it going to be like how they do it in, or how you guys do it with the Aave pools now, or will it be claimed separately? I don't think it would be, but
No, it's going to be claimed separately. It's going to be the exact same thing as it's going to be on Aave. So the way we distribute stake Aave now, we're going to do the same with Matic.
okay.
So separately word pool is that you have to stake your junior tokens and get those out.
Okay, cool. Right on. That's actually the last question from, that's all we had. So I think this is actually a pretty good call. Welcome, and also welcome Christian to the team from the community. And as everyone can see, there's a lot going on. So I think it's probably best that we give everyone 30 minutes back of their day and peace out. Later.
Bye, everyone.
Everyone.